Stand with me now on the banks of the Sumida River, where the morning mist rises like silk from the water's surface. The year is 1854, and we find ourselves in Edo, the greatest city in the world, a sprawling metropolis of over 1 million souls, where wooden houses stretch as far as the eye can see, their dark tile roofs creating an undulating sea of shadow and light. This is a city on the edge of transformation, though its people do not yet know it. The black ships of Commodore Perry have appeared in the bay, and the centuries-old isolation that has shaped this extraordinary place is about to shatter like porcelain. But today, in this moment, Edo remains untouched by the future. The air carries the scent of burning charcoal, fresh fish from the markets, and the sweet perfume of cherry blossoms that line the canals. Listen, can you hear the wooden getter sandals clacking on the stone bridges, the calls of vendors selling their wares, the distant bells of Buddhist temples marking the passage of time in a world where time itself moves differently than anywhere else on earth? Let us walk these streets together, while they still belong to the shogun and the samurai, before the emperor returns and this city becomes Tokyo. Let us see Edo as it truly was, in its final, magnificent moment. Our journey begins where all power in Japan converges. Edo Castle, rising from the center of the city like a mountain of stone and timber. The outer moat stretches before us, its waters dark and still, reflecting the massive stone walls that tower overhead. These walls are not merely defensive structures, they are statements of absolute authority. Each stone precisely cut and fitted without mortar, some weighing as much as 60 tons. As we approach the Otamon, the great main gate, we must bow deeply. Only those with the highest ranks may pass through these gates, and even they must observe countless protocols and rituals. The gate itself is a masterpiece of defensive architecture, a scene structure, a square courtyard design that forces any attacker to make sharp turns, exposing themselves to arrows and stones from above. The massive wooden doors are bound with iron, and the roof above is covered in copper tiles that have weathered to a soft blue-green patina. Beyond the outer walls, the castle complex sprawls across more than 260 acres, divided into distinct sections by additional moats and walls. The Tenshu, the main keep, once stood 90 feet tall, the tallest structure in all of Edo, until it burned in the Great Maireki Fire of 1657. It was never rebuilt, for the shogun's power had grown so absolute that such displays were no longer necessary. Instead, the palace buildings low, elegant structures with their white plaster walls and dark wooden beams speak of a quieter, more refined authority. The Honmaru Palace, where the shogun conducts the business of state, is a labyrinth of interconnected halls and chambers. The floors are made of nightingale wood, cunningly designed to chirp with each footstep, making it impossible for assassins to approach in silence. The sliding doors are covered in paintings by the greatest artists of the Kano school, tigers prowling through bamboo forests, cranes taking flight over golden clouds, scenes of such beauty that they transform political chambers into spaces of contemplation and art. Descending from the castle, we enter the Yamanote, the high city, where the daimyo lords and their samurai retainers reside. These districts speak of order and hierarchy, made visible in wood and stone. Each daimyo maintains a mansion here, a yashiki, where they must reside for part of each year under the shogun's Sankin Kotai system, a brilliant policy that ensures loyalty by keeping the feudal lords close to the seat of power while their families remain as hostages in all but name. The Kaga clan's mansion in Hongoku-cho is among the most magnificent, its grounds covering nearly 25 acres. High white walls topped with dark tiles surround the compound, and within these walls lies an entire world, not merely residences, but gardens, storehouses, armories, and even small shrines. The main gate, a Nagayamon, is itself a building, with guard rooms on either side, where armed samurai maintain constant watch. Walking these quiet streets in the late afternoon, we see samurai returning to their quarters, their two swords, the long katana and short wakizashi, marking their status as clearly as any uniform. Their wooden geta echo on the packed earth roads, and their top knots, bound with paper and oil, gleam in the slanting sunlight. They move with a particular grace. These warriors who have known decades of peace under the Tokugawa shoguns, men trained in both martial arts and poetry, calligraphy and combat. The gates of these mansions open briefly, and we catch glimpses of immaculate gardens within carefully raked gravel paths, stone lanterns covered in moss, ponds where koi flash gold and red beneath the surface. These are gardens designed for contemplation, where every stone and every twisted pine has been placed according to principles centuries old, creating miniature landscapes that echo the mountains and rivers of Japan itself. Now let us descend to the Shitamachi, the low city, where the pulse of Edo beats strongest. At the center of this commercial world stands Nihonbashi, the bridge of Japan, the point from which all distances in the realm are measured. Built of sturdy wood and painted in bright vermilion, this bridge arches over the canal, where boats laden with goods from across the nation arrive day and night. Stand here at dawn, when the fish market below comes alive with frantic energy. Fishermen from Edo Bay bring their catch tuna, bonito, sea bream, prawns still thrashing in their baskets. The auction begins with calls that sound almost like songs, rapid-fire exchanges between buyers and sellers who have known each other for generations. The smell of the sea mingles with the smoke from cooking fires, where vendors prepare fresh fish for customers who cannot wait to get home. The warehouses surrounding Nihonbashi belong to the great merchant houses, the Mitsui, the Sumitomo families whose wealth rivals and perhaps exceeds that of many daimyo lords, though they must maintain the fiction of their lower social status. These buildings are sturdy structures of dark wood with white plaster walls, their interiors divided into countless compartments, where silk, rice, sake, and every commodity imaginable is stored and traded. The streets, radiating from Nihonbashi, are lined with shops, their fronts open to the street, displaying goods on raised platforms. Here you can find anything the heart desires finest. Kyoto silks patterned with autumn leaves and flowing water, ceramics from Arita with their distinctive blue and white designs, lacquerware from Wajima gleaming like pools of black water, paper lanterns painted with seasonal scenes, scrolls of calligraphy, incense from distant lands. As evening approaches, the character of the city transforms. We make our way to Sakai-cho, the theater district, where the great Kabuki theaters stand ready to receive their audiences. The Nakamuraza Theater, one of the 3 officially sanctioned Kabuki houses, rises 3 stories high, its facade painted in bold patterns of black and red. Paper lanterns hang in rows from the eaves, and as they are lit one by one, the building begins to glow like a magical palace. Inside, the theater is a world unto itself. The stage extends deep into the audience, with a Hanamichi runway that allows actors to make dramatic entrances and exits through the crowd. The ceiling soars overhead, supported by massive wooden beams, and the walls are decorated with paintings of famous actors in their most celebrated roles. The audience sits on tatami mats in compartments, eating, drinking, calling out to their favorite performers, creating an atmosphere that is part religious festival, part carnival. When the curtain rises, drawn by hand across the stage with a distinctive clacking sound, we are transported. The actors, the onagata who specialize in playing women despite being men themselves, move with exquisite grace, their white painted faces like living masks, their elaborate costumes weighing 40 pounds or more. The stories they tell are of loyalty and betrayal, love and duty, historical dramas and supernatural tales, performed in a style that has been refined over generations into something that exists nowhere else on Earth. As night deepens, we turn toward the temple districts that ring the city, particularly to Asakusa, where the great Senso-ji temple stands. Approach the temple through the Thunder Gate, the Kaminarimon, flanked by fierce guardian statues, Fujin, the god of wind, and Raijin, the god of thunder, their faces frozen in eternal snarls, protecting the sacred space beyond. Pass beneath the massive red lantern that hangs in the gate, so large that a person could stand inside it, and enter the long shopping street called Nakamize-dori. Even at this hour, vendors sell their wares, amulets and fortunes, sweets and toys, fans painted with scenes from the floating world. The smoke from grills carries the scent of senbei rice crackers being toasted, and the sound of bells and wooden clappers creates a constant music. At the end of this street, the main hall of Senso-ji rises before us, its roof sweeping upward in elegant curves, supported by massive wooden pillars that have stood for generations. Worshippers approach the great incense burner, wafting the purifying smoke over themselves before ascending the steps. Inside, in the dim interior lit by countless oil lamps, the air is thick with incense and prayers. But temples are not the only sacred spaces here. Scattered throughout Asakusa are smaller shrines, some no larger than a closet, dedicated to Inari, the fox god of rice and prosperity, to Jizo, the protector of children and travelers, to countless kami spirits that inhabit every aspect of the natural world. Before each shrine, offerings have been left: cups of sake, grains of rice, small coins, fresh flowers. Before we leave Edo, we must visit one of the great daimyo gardens that represent the pinnacle of Japanese landscape design. Let us walk through the gates of Koishikawa Korakuen, a garden created by the Mido branch of the Tokugawa family, a place where heaven and earth have been arranged according to principles both aesthetic and philosophical. This garden is a journey in miniature through all the famous landscapes of Japan and China. A path of stepping stones leads us around a central pond, its shores irregular and natural seeming, though every rock and every plant has been placed with meticulous care. A miniature representation of Mount Lu from China rises on one shore, built from thousands of stones transported here at enormous expense. A rice paddy, maintained within these aristocratic grounds to remind the lord of the agricultural foundation of all wealth, lies in perfect rows. Cross the Tsutenkyo Bridge, a full moon bridge of stone that arcs high above a stream, and you find yourself in a bamboo grove where the light turns green and gold, where the stalks creak and whisper in the breeze. Follow the path upward to a tea house, a simple structure of rough timber and thatch, where the tea ceremony transforms the drinking of hot water into something approaching a religious experience. Every season transforms this garden: cherry blossoms in spring, irises in early summer, maple leaves in autumn, the stark beauty of snow-covered pines in winter. The garden is designed to be experienced in time as well as space, revealing different aspects of itself as you walk its paths, as the hours pass, as the years turn. We stand now on one of the many bridges that cross Edo's countless canals and waterways, watching the last light fade from the sky. The city before us is alive with 10,000 individual fires, cooking fires, lanterns, torches carried by night watchmen beginning their rounds. The wooden buildings seem to glow from within, and the sound of the city voices, bells, the splash of water, the call of vendors making their final sales, rises like a symphony. This is Edo in 1854, a city of wood and water, stone and spirit, a place that has created its own unique culture over 2.5 centuries of relative peace and isolation. In just 14 years, the Shogunate will fall. This city will be renamed Tokyo and will begin its transformation into a modern capital. Many of these wooden buildings will burn or be torn down. The samurai will lose their swords and their status. The old world will end. But tonight, in this moment we have shared, Edo stands complete and perfect. A civilization at its height, a dream of order and beauty made real in timber and tile, in garden and bridge, in temple and theater. Remember it this way, not as it will become, but as it was, in its last golden hour.